Hey people, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. Probably a quick video. I just want to show we're running the K&N filter in our 120 Prado, also in the Hilux, and I just want to show people how good or bad they really are. Now, just a little bit of background. It's in the other videos. Check our playlist. When I say check our playlists, that's on our YouTube channel, 4x4 Diesel. So you go on our channel page and you can select, websites and stuff, and you click playlists, okay? And you'll see a list of playlists, and it's a bit like an index, if you like, okay? And if it says air filters, it's everything I've got to tell you about air filters. Now, on the K&N box, it says, not for off-road use and all this sort of thing, but I get lazy and I take it out off-road, including in the dust. So obviously, to remove your airbox, just want to say, whether it's changing your air filter or your fuel filters or anything really, I like to start off with a clean engine bay. Reason being, if you got it all covered in dirt, dust and mud, there's a higher risk whether it's something going to fall there or you're touching it, getting it all dirty, you're going to get stuff on the dirty side. But what we're going to do, we're going to get in there and have a look and see how clean it is or how dirty it is on the clean side. So the top's the clean side, the bottom's the dirty side. So we'll have a good look around in there. So I'll bring the camera over there, and it's just going to be a short one. We've done this before. The vehicle's on about 416 odd thousand kilometers at the moment, so you can check the previous videos. I don't do any cleaning or maintenance on this filter without putting it in a video, so you can actually see what my maintenance program is, and I'm about to tell you by looking at it whether I decide to clean it or whether I decide to add more oil to it or whatever the case may be. I just use the genuine K&N recharger kit. We get it cheap from Repco, whatever. They give it to us for about 15 bucks for the, the twin pack with the cleaner and the whatever. So it's up to you what you get. What I'm going to do now, I'll just lift it out carefully maybe. So at the moment it's stuck into the top area there. So we just need to carefully, and you can see I'll use that rubber grease. Let's just get it out so you can see it all. So there's the clean side. Right, you can see, I don't see dirt and stuff coming through there, so you know what we're going to expect to see in the box, don't you? The grease on the perimeter looks a bit dried up, so we'll give that a bit of a clean up and a re-lube with rubber grease. Now the dirty side, what you might be interested in, doesn't look too bad at all, so maybe it's all just going straight through and straight into the engine. But the story will be told. Now looking at that, I'm just going to get, it looks pretty, I've re-oiled it, you've probably seen in other videos, you can see it's collecting all that dirt and fine dust and debris and whatever. You can see not a lot of bugs and moths in that, because I have the snorkel head generally turned backwards a lot. I used to have it like that all the time, but now I only do it off-road. So now you start to see a few more bugs and debris, because of course when you're driving on the road, you still get all those bugs going in there. I really don't know why I do it, to be honest. I'll put this on the bench for a moment. I say quick, but quick as always, how much do you want to see? How much time have you got to see the facts and the real information? I've got no shares in K&N. They don't give me filters. I'm not going to tell you whether to buy one or not. You work it out for yourself. Just going to have a quick look. Yeah, oily down that side. And one of the cleanest air boxes I've ever seen up underneath on the clean side, which is what we normally see with the K&N. Obviously, specialising in these vehicles, these engines, we see a lot of cars come in, a lot of air filters and a lot of dust on the clean side with genuine, with aftermarket, but not with my K&N. So I think, have you seen and heard enough? Let's get in there and show you for yourselves. Dun, dun, dun. Right, so there it is. Stop, do not discard. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. You can see the bottom. See, it's all oily, whatever. Is that the oil sort of kind of like fall, because I've got it that drowned, and people say, oh, you'll have problems with the MAF sensor and whatever. So that means it's going to be oily on the other side of the box as well, right? So, this is the problem. You hear all these things, you read all these things online, you see all these videos, and this is why my videos, I try to make it a bit like a court case where we're presenting the evidence. We're not trying to tell you what to do and what not to do. We show you the evidence on all our videos, on all the subjects, whatever it may be, so you can make a judgment yourself, okay? So quite oily, right? You can see we'll completely agree. Is that from the grease, from the rubber grease? You can see the rubber grease down there where we've touched it here and there, or whatever's fallen out, probably by accident dropping it. Whatever's happened, I don't really care about that. That's the dirty side. I don't see pools of dust sitting in the bottom there like I do with a lot of other vehicles. All right, you know what I mean? We go off-road a lot. A lot of other vehicles, they have pools, even without all this oil, they have pools of dust sitting in the bottom there because they've got the snorkel head facing forwards collecting all the dust. We have it backwards, right? So it's like stays, and we've got the pre-filter here that works because we haven't siliconed up this one-way valve. All important information, right? this pre-spinner, this thing in here, this is what separates a lot of the dust. This is where it all comes in, right? In there. Upside down, back to front. But anyway, okay, you're hanging to see the clean side, aren't you? I've been teasing you a bit, sorry about that. Well, there it is. Have a look, right? So you can see all the rubber grease, the dried up rubber grease around the edges. You can see a little bit of dust, right? So if you look here, normally if we pull apart, say, a stock standard Prado that doesn't do much off-road, it's got a standard air filter, but it's gone on a couple of dirt roads, and we go and wipe our finger like that, you'll see a finger line there. You can clearly see, the only thing you can see there is the outline of my already dusty, dirty finger on the outside edges. It is clean. If you look up here, the only dust you'll see that stuff up in there? That's all old from paper filters, okay? You can see where I've had my finger up in there with a rag, sort of wiping it, but kind of going, but I don't really care. See all that stuff? That's all old stuff. If it was current, you'd have a lot more of it here and here, right? This is where I've sort of wiped it, done a sloppy job. Now, as this current here, you can see let's have a look here. See that dust there? That may or may not be current, but when we clean the MAF sensor in other videos, that will tell us another story. Let's have a look at the MAF sensor. You know, that's this one here. You know, you access it from the top. MAF sensor, I got it right this time. What do we got there? There's definitely a bit of dust going through because you can see on that part of that sensor there, right? It's got a bit of dust on it. You can see up in the tube, that could be old again because I haven't never cleaned up in the duct, so you can't really, but look, a lot of this, you know, there's a certain amount of fine dust that gets through that isn't going to hurt your engine. But what I'm trying to point out is with the K&N, a lot less seems to get through than what we see get through with paper filters. Once the filter becomes blocked, the engine's going to pull the air it needs and rip it through the filter or past the seal or whatever. So that's the fact of the matter. Bada bing, I don't care what you do. This is what I do. Sometimes I get, you know, I go, oh, what am I going to, I'm going off-road. I'm going to be in all, do I take it out and put a paper filter in? And you know what I do? Generally, I'm too lazy and I go, bugger it, it'll be right. But what I'm doing now, it's January, it's, you know, early January at the moment. We're doing a bit of maintenance. We're doing some videos for you to show you what we do and what we recommend, I suppose, on some aspects. And, you know, I'm going to put some more oil on the filter. Let's go and have a look at it. Is anyone actually watching each time, every video, and each time I do something with this air filter? Because I don't think I've cleaned it for years, okay? You can see the normal, you know, clean and dirty areas. That's, you know, you get that, right? So, but you can see some bugs in there now because of this snorkel head facing forwards too much. Forwards just collects everything. None of those bigger debris are going to be in there if you've got it facing backwards because they're just going to hit the back head and just keep on going back behind you, you know, splat it on your windscreen or whatever, okay? I'm going to re-oil it, okay? So should I sort of maybe show you how I'm going to re-oil it and not clean it? You know, people want to clean it. It breathes fine like this. That's the point of the K&N filter. It breathes fine. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a rag. I'm going to give the perimeter a bit of clean, the box a bit of a clean. I'm talking a couple of minutes, that's it. Then I'll get the spray and we'll just give it a little bit before we throw it in, put some rubber grease on. So I'll show you some of that in the video. I'll just spend a minute wiping around the perimeter, getting some of the old grease. The dirty side, I'll bang it on the bench a few times. The first one I wiped off into the bin. That's a couple more bangs. So we're just going to get some of those loose debris out. I know some people have got OCD and they have to go clean it, but I'm making a point. I'm sure the box says clean it every 50,000 miles. That's 80,000 kilometers, whatever. It's going to be less than that with off-road, but I'm going to judge it by the build-up. We haven't got a thick, restrictive build-up. I'm going to put a bit more oil. We're about to do that. I'll grab the can and clean up this mess. Spend a couple of minutes underneath this airbox with a rag and then a cleaner rag. And in fairness, I'll show you what it looks like now so you can compare it in the next video for next time. So once again, you can see, as much as I sort of mucked around and clean, you can see it's still clean around here and a little bit. I'm not too worried about around the edges because it's just going to dry and gum up. But seeing those holes up the top there, mate, you know, I've got in there a little bit, but I'm not going to spend forever trying to get out what won't come out. Compressed air probably won't blow that out either. It's very fine. I'm really not worried about it. Have a good look around what everything looks like. Okay, there's so much air going through here, and that tiny small amount of bug roll, it isn't going to do anything. So, re-oil time. Just put a light amount of rubber grease on that seal, just very light. It's on the outside edge and a little bit top and bottom. Get the picture? I don't want to make too much mess, but I'm not too worried about getting a bit extra around. You can see my general, you know, it's not artwork, but just a little bit to help it, if it helps. And then we've got the old K&N recharger box, you know, covered in dust. And this is what's in the box. You've got your degreaser. That is full. I don't think I've ever used it. So since this filter was new, So long story short, I had another filter, used it for years, no problem. Had all the evidence that it works really well, as far as I'm concerned. Mate wanted one, put it into his car. I went back to paper filters just to go, you know, am I sure, is this right? And definitely the paper filters let more dust through. And then I went, bugger this, I'm wasting money. Back to a K&N filter a few years ago. Let us know in the comments, anyone that's been watching that closely that knows. Now here's the oil. I reckon the can, it could maybe not always be full anyway, but I reckon it's about half full. Probably give it a good shake, right? It's red, right? See the red stain around the, I don't know if you can actually even see that. There you go, from a distance, right? Anyway, I'm trying to hold the camera. This is not going to be cool because I'm trying to hold this. I've already got the shakes, getting nervous. So I'm not even holding the right spot anymore. Oiled the hell out of it, haven't I? I mean, that is just crazy. That's what I've just done. I've just added more oil to it. It's there to do the job. That's what's going to soak up. That may, I don't know, you tell me in the comments, is that a lot or is that not much? And next thing I'm going to do is going to clean the MAF sensor. I might add that into the end of the video. You can see that again. We've got other videos on that again. Just look under that playlist, air filters, subscribe, turn the bell on. I'm going to throw this back in the vehicle, clean the MAF sensor. All right, there it is there, sitting beautiful. You can see it's just sitting in place. You can see the grease there. It's going to be, you know, on the bottom side helping, top side, and a little bit on the outside, but these gaps are here anyway. So just anyway, whatever, right? You know, you can argue about whether it helps or not later with someone else. I've been doing it for years, and I believe I've got plenty of evidence that it helps. It certainly isn't going to hurt, right? Can we agree on that at least? Okay. That's back on now. We've got to get this off, so carefully undo the plug. Don't pull on the wires. You'll see when I undo plugs, it's usually two hands, one pushing the plug and one pushing the clip. So it squeezes the clip, and then sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. That time it came off, that one can just sit there. This one's got oversized screws. It's a whole nother, so there's a whole kettle of, you know what, when you work on your vehicle, because some people over tighten things and whatever. These screws just go into plastic. There's no need to actually tighten them at all. So it's just, you put them in until they, as soon as you feel it bottom out, that's it, you stop right there. It's just plastic. So these ones, they're a bit butchered. Yeah, definitely never use impact drivers on this. This is the sort of thing, it's always got to be hand tools. So as I was saying, I'll put oversized screws in there to do the job, but we'll just show you how to get it out. And then we'll go ahead and clean it. Don't drop your screws, don't pinch your O-ring. I don't put the moly coat on this because it can make a mess. I put it on the hole, okay? So what I do now is clean the hole, re-moly coat the hole. This gets clean. Careful of your O-ring. I'll bring it in closer to you now that we got it out, just to show you. Look, it's not that bad. So this is, oh, there we are. That's the clean side, to give you an idea. So the whole thing's not caked and covered in dust, right? When you look at something this zoomed in, this clear on a 4K job, you're going to see every bit of dust, right? So there's a little bit of dust there. You know, every vehicle, it doesn't matter paper filters or not, everybody knows that these things get really badly dusted up. Everybody knows we go off-road a fair bit, you know, up some dirt roads and whatever. This is bugger all. But when you clean or maintain your air filter, you should also maintain your MAF sensor. So we're going to literally give this a really quick clean and a blow dry. We don't lube that because I might accidentally put some stuff there and in the heat it'll melt down, sort of thing, you know what I mean? So I'm just going to go give this a quick clean. We've got that in other videos, so subscribe, turn the bell on, check out that air filter playlist, and there's plenty more playlists. So Toyota's procedure is actually just to blow it. It bursts of air, 10 bursts of, you know, but we use this stuff like a lot of other people do. CRC brand, mass airflow. It's a rip-off product, but you just use a little bit, so it doesn't matter about the rip-off, as long as you use it sparingly. I'm not worried about the dust in the cracks up there that I need to wipe with a rag. I don't care about that. And it's not all about this sensor on the outside. Make sure you know about, see inside there? Yeah, you got to, don't touch the stick on them, but you got to get right in there. So I've already sprayed them, blown it dry. Happy days, it's ready to go back in. So I'm going to put the moly coat on the hole. The moly coat here ready to go. I've got someone here about to pick up an injector kit any minute, so we're going to wrap it off and sort of just, yeah, I already wiped the hole, I did the ragging, so now I'm just putting a bit of moly coat there, you get what I mean? So then it's not going to go all over the joint on the sensor. It's in the hole, very minimal amount. Just when it comes to lubrication, you don't need to smother things, it's just going to get pushed out of the way, you're going to be costing yourself grease and stuff like that. Just the minimal amount. And then this will just slip. If you've got a damaged O-ring, I think it's 28 by 2. get it at your local bearing shop, or if you're buying injector kit from me and you know you've got a damaged O-ring, you can say, hey. And just for the people overseas, I'm sorry, I'm maxed out trying to service everyone in Australia with the parts supply and getting all those kits done. Yeah, I've got the shakes. I'm getting nervous now because I don't know why I got the shakes. I get the shakes. I think it's just the angle of the dangle, the way you're holding things on. So the screw goes in. As soon as the bottom, we want to get the other one in anyway before we get too excited. All right. Because I don't know if I've got someone here. I really need to go check the phone. He could be texting me going, man, I'm here. So that's bottom out. I'm not going to tighten it, right? It's just down in. It's plastic thread, right? This one, I'm just going to go. I'm just like, you know, I want to know that it's there. Yep, beautiful. As soon as I feel it bottom out, that's it, done, okay? The screws aren't going to come undone. All right, that's clipped on, job done. That's the video. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. The Real Information channel showing you how things really are. Subscribe, turn the bell on, stop wasting your time elsewhere. Bada bing, bada boom. Catch you on the next one. See ya.